So we had a big revelation for Cersei when Jaime finally told her, hey, it was Tyrion, I'm sorry, it was Tyrion did not kill Joffrey. It was actually Lady Olenna who admitted that to him. And at first she didn't seem to buy it, and he had to really convince her. But she still seemed like she had it out for Tyrion. She just does not like Tyrion, and she wanted to believe that so much that it was Tyrion's fault for that Joffrey died. But now that she doesn't have that, it doesn't seem to have changed her much.
I think she'll always hate her kid brother. Tyrion is the kid brother, right? Yeah. She'll always hate her kid brother, and
Jaime's also a couple seconds younger than her. I don't know if that matters, but go on.
Look, Tyrion. She'll never love Tyrion. And she'll never forgive him for killing their father. There's a whole host of things. But if anything, now that she knows that he didn't kill their son, he serves a function in that he can be yet another pawn on the board. He plays some function in keeping them in power, keeping them alive. Mm-hmm. And I think ultimately that's enough to get not him back in her good graces, but keep him alive. And maybe that's ultimately all Tyrion will want at the end, especially if he has any sort of falling out with Dany or can't quite commit to, wanting Dany to, execute his brother and sister.
I don't see that happening, but who knows what will happen. So I have a question from another follower on Twitter, Ian Hipschman at the Hipsch. I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry, Ian. He asks, do you think Cersei is really pregnant, or is it her and Qyburn manipulating Jaime? That was the other big revelation, of course, of that scene. She's like, by the way, I'm pregnant. And Jaime just completely loses, looked like he was almost at his tipping point to where he was going to turn on Cersei, or at least certainly wasn't on her side as much as it used to be. But the second she said that, he drops everything and just kisses her and embraces her and is happy about it and has this rush of affection for Cersei, who's done all these terrible things. But yeah, do you think that they are playing him?
Well, I think part of the answer is in how that embrace ends. What's the last thing she says to him is, "Don't ever betray me again." And the look in his face, he's scared. Did he get trapped? Maybe. I think she actually is pregnant because we did see them hook up the episode before, and that the handmaiden saw them and all that, and there's that whole thing in the scene of what are we supposed to just, have the kid now and just, who's going to be who will say is his father? You are, I think that they could probably get away with it now because you're living in a world where, well, we can either have an incestuous couple rule us, or we can get burned alive by dragons. So, and that land of options there for people in King's Landing, I guess maybe the first one, if you're living there, I guess I'll put up with those creeps. But I think it also, too, it adds to the tragedy of the show, which is this is a family pretty much at the end of their line. This child now is a hope for them, that they can have this line, and it'd be just like Game of Thrones to put hope in front of somebody and then snatch it away, because it's really all about tragedy, isn't it?
Yes.
So I think she actually is pregnant. To the reader's question, she could have played a fast one on him, but I don't think that's the case here. I think maybe this had happened a few seasons ago, but we're so close to the end now. There's no real room for a misdirect like that.
Ooh, it would be low of her. I wouldn't put it past her to fake the pregnancy, just to have Qyburn in the room when Jaime shows up and be like, and he's like, what is he doing here? He's like, oh, it's nothing. And then at the end, she makes the big reveal that she's pregnant. I also don't know how you would fake that for long.
I mean, it's not a very 3 months, 4 months, maybe.
It's not a good long play. But I think the idea of another Joffrey coming into the world is very worrying. And so a lot of people wouldn't be happy if they heard that news. I think I guess I had to choose, I would say she's being genuine, but I bet that she will use it to manipulate not only Jaime, but other people. Be like, oh, you're going to execute me and kill my unborn child? It sort of buys her 9 months. People, I could totally hear John being like, oh yeah, you are a terrible person, but the child's innocent. Let's let her have the baby. But then again, I don't know will Westeros still be around in 9 months?
Well, I mean, look, the passage of time is a whole other long conversation here on this show. But I do think, again, the idea of the sins of the parents being passed on to the children is something they deal with this season. They bring it up a lot. And also, mothers losing their children. We saw it with Ilaria Martell, right? It was the Sand Snake's mom.
Yes.
And then, you know, everything that Cersei has gone through. And again, I think Dany's going to lose at least one of her kids this season. So I think just continuing with that narrative through line, I think, I think, you know, her having a child, having this hope is just going to make it that much more for Jaime. Like, he has that one more thing to defend, to die for if need be.
Right.
You know?
We have more Game of Thrones content on the site, plenty of it, including a conversation we did last week on the Golden Company that keep getting brought up. Who are these sellswords and mercenaries? We explained it to you in that video and how they could impact the show going forward. So keep it tuned to Dragons on the Wall. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow us wherever you watch or listen to the show. And for more from Game of Thrones, keep it here on IGN.